So, hi, welcome, Len
Hello.
Koster. You're from
Yes.
Not Selling Liquid.
Exactly.
What a brand name.
Yeah.
I love it. Could you tell us a little bit about the brand,
Yeah,
the
for
name,
sure.
and
Yeah.
the story behind it?
Of course. Yeah. So we're an e-commerce agency from Amsterdam, and we help fashion brands grow online. The name is actually a pun. We are a partner of Shopify, the e-commerce platform, and the development language of Shopify is Liquid. We don't just sell pieces of code or just development work. We do a lot more than that for all of the brands that we work with. So we don't just sell Liquid. No. We do much more.
And when were you founded?
It's 5 or 6 years ago now. So the two founders one of them used to work at Daily Paper at the head of e-commerce, a brand from Amsterdam. And the other one was having a marketing agency with Daily Paper as a client. They worked together a lot, figured out they could do that for other people as well. So they branched out and started their own agency, which then made Daily Paper one of their first clients. And now 5-6 years later, we're still here with 26 people now, serving over 30 clients. So yeah.
When you enter your webpage, you can see that it's a 360 business,
yes,
which is a buzzword more or less. So would you try to describe what is the business model and how can fashion brands benefit from what you do?
The easiest way we always describe it is that we can partially or fully replace a in-house e-commerce team. So a lot of the brands are willing to focus on all the creative stuff, but they don't necessarily want to focus on all their technical or data-driven or anything not doing with clothing. They don't want to focus on.
Statistics. Yeah,
exactly. So we try to take over some of those parts by working together with them. So really forming a partnership, usually also long-term instead of project-based, very short-term, and really try to become part of their team and a extension of what they are already doing. So we take over part of the headache.
Take me through a brand that you started with and where you took them from being maybe a smaller brand.
Yep.
What is the transition that happens once you enter the picture?
It depends a little bit on how extensive the partnership is, but for some of the brands, like you said, we do 360, which basically in our world means that we take over the full web shop. Of course, always in partnership with the client, but we built the website, we design the website, we optimize the website, then we grow it as well. So we advertise it on Google and Instagram, Facebook, those kind of platforms. But then we also do the whole management part of the website. So we do the merchandising of the collections, we do sales strategies, we do pretty much anything you would do normally when you do it yourself, we can do it outsourced. And for some of the brands that we do it now, for example, for Daily Paper or Arte, where we've been working with for 4 or 5 years steadily already, they've grown from relatively small brands within the Netherlands or Amsterdam to now pretty much global players which sell anywhere in the world. Especially for a brand like Arte, who just recently opened the Paris-based store. The French market is super important for them, so we also help them expand into those markets by targeted campaigns in French. Yeah.
And now you're here in Copenhagen during the Fashion Week, and now everything you describe is very digital. So what does being here with a physical fair, like what does that mean to a brand like yours?
I mean, in the end, it's a people business. Like people know people, and we work with people in the end. Of course, our product is very much digital focused, but it starts somewhere. And I used to own a store in Amsterdam, so I've visited CIFF a lot as a buyer. And I knew the people at CIFF already, and I knew that they were trying to expand their types of services. And we, of course, very much focus on B2C, but it's an extension of B2B. So we figured out that we could work together, and brands that are already exhibiting here can use our services to further grow their business. So it's a win-win to some extent.
And how open are the Danish fashion scene to like digital, easy plug-and-play solutions?
I mean, I think relatively everyone is now trying to figure out what to do online. So some brands are way ahead of others, or it becomes very natural to them to start online or just sell online. Others are a bit more conservative and prefer to sell in-store or through wholesale more. And we can help with both, so either setting up or growing even more. The Scandinavian market, I think, is pretty similar to how we work in Europe or Western Europe, so it's not too different. There is a more local market here as well, so there's a lot of Danish brands that work really well within Denmark, but then don't necessarily have the ambition to grow outside of that. But others do, so we can help those. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I think for a lot of people launching or being in a business, one of the main problems will always be managing stock. Like how much we have of each thing, how do we avoid like selling out, but on the other hand, we don't want to have overly stocked, so we always have a sale going on.
Yeah.
Can you help with like managing both the expectations, but also like how does that work?
It's one of the key parts that we do with a lot of the brands that we have a more extensive partnership with, is that we first of all provide them with the data that they want to see. So we build custom dashboards that gives them insights in what products they sold well, what kind of products, so the categories, but even up until like colors, or if it has a print, or if it's a more basic piece or stuff like that. In practice, that can mean that we advise them pretty much how to buy their stock for the next season. So we can literally advise them on how much to buy and produce in terms of what you can sell online. Usually that's linked with a more longer term growth plan, as we call it. So we sit together with the brands and we pretty much together figure out where they want to be and how we can accomplish that. So really work together to make a realistic plan of how to get where they want to go.
Yeah, because I think for a lot of creatives, that is like a main issue, that you want to be creative and you want to actually like stay within like being close to the materials and the design, and you actually don't want to have to think about all the logistics.
No.
For me, I think, why don't everybody use a service like this? Like, how do you get the message across? Are people like worried about, oh, if we share too much of our knowledge, will they, how can we take it back if we want to do it differently? How do you manage that expectation?
I mean, we are very discreet from company perspective. So of course we work with a lot of the brands that may even be competitors of each other. So they're also a bit wary of the information we have and which we can share with other clients. But we always make sure that all the information stays within the brand, or at least anonymized or more globally viewed. So we don't have that problem in that perspective. On the other hand, everyone wants to survive and stay alive and grow their business so they can enjoy what they like even more. So to some extent, you always need some sort of a commercial partner that can help you literally grow and become a brand. Sometimes that's in-house, so they have a partner that's more like a business person. On the other hand, we can also be part of that conversation.
The online shopping landscape is highly competitive, and you cannot like even think a thought of like, I want a black dress, and then you have 5 dresses popping up. How do you help the brands connect with their consumers in such a crowded market?
It's more difficult than ever. So that's realistically also something we tell brands. We really believe in telling stories. So we're not a huge fan of like huge peaks of just spending a lot and then attracting a lot of clients. We more believe in the long-term story and really telling the story of a brand. So usually all the brands that we work with have something to say that adds something to the world. Usually that's about how they started, or the fabrics they use, or the stories or concept of a specific collection. That really helps to resonate with clients as well, because
connecting with the right consumer.
Because like you said, you can buy pretty much everything everywhere. So clients need to have a reason to come and shop with you. Sometimes that's price, but more often it's the story that you tell around a certain product. And we try to do that the best way possible. So even in advertising, which is a very commercial thing, of course, we try to do that in a way where it feels like you connect with the brand instead of just buy a new client that shops with you.
What is your vision for the future of e-commerce in the fashion industry? If you had a say on or could give a piece of advice that was both like sustainable but still inspirational, like what would that be?
I mean, I think the biggest change which I experienced is that, like, if you look at the past 5 years, a lot of the brands really focused on becoming huge. So you need to attract as much people as possible. The web shop or the brand experience needed to feel like you were a huge brand or like a big brand. I think nowadays more and more especially clients want to have a more personal experience. So what we really focus on as well is personalization, really giving the client ultimately what they want to see. So also use customer data, for example, to highlight specific products instead of showing irrelevant products to the right people. And telling stories. I think that's the most important thing. So people want to feel connected to the brands which they buy from, and I think that's the key difference from a couple of years ago, where it was much more commercial and easy to win over customers. Yeah.
And now everyone sitting out there with a lacking online shop or shopping experience are thinking, how do we get in touch with you guys? So what do you do?
So you can go to our website, notsellingliquid.com. That's the easiest way to reach us. We are based in Amsterdam, so you're always welcome in the office. And we can meet digital, we can come to you. It's easy,
It's just plug and play.
Yeah,
Amazing.
I mean, we need some setup time, of course, and we don't have unlimited resources, but in terms of communication, we're very, very flexible.
Amazing. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you.
And enjoy the rest of Fashion Week.
Thank you. Likewise. Bye-bye.
Bye.